Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. This episode, we're going to be checking out a piece by the established digital illustrator known as Chawin Choosrirat. This episode, we're going to be talking about the ethereal nature of light, we're going to talk about the cyberpunk subgenre, and we're also going to talk about the series Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, you're met, of course, with a lone subject here. You're not going to miss her. She really kind of invigorates the spatial composition with this really lively first impression, right? So she stands in the middle, so you're not going to miss her, right? She commands the center region of the spatial composition. Not only that, but she commands a majority of the composition as well. So like I said, you're not going to miss her. We see form accented through this kind of light and dark contrast here. Incredibly important, especially against that galactic backing there. And so in the realm of color, we kind of have this, a split complementary scheme here. And all in all, this really adds to the ethereal nature of the work at hand, right? Just invigorated with this incredible visual energy. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So like I said, you're not going to miss this vibrance, especially with her hair, right? Incredibly important. It's going to draw the eye, those neon tones, and even the yellow, those kind of gold tones as well, certainly pop out and always catch the eye. And so, like I said, this vibrance is going to give us this really vivid sense of visual energy. Not only are you going to feel awakened when you see this work, but simultaneously, there is that sense of magic and that kind of divine as well. All very important when we're looking at this work. And so, I mentioned, of course, she stands in the center region, but the form is very important here. Like I said, this gold really, or yellow or gold really pops out, certainly catches the eye, but it also acts as kind of an island that kind of frames form as well, right? Certainly kind of pops out into that galactic backing, so you're really not going to miss it. And so all in all, we do see this kind of galactic backing here. It does add to the kind of ethereal nature of the work at hand, and we see a very large moon at the bottom. We'll go a bit deeper that here in a second. All very important when we're looking at this work. And so you'll also notice, her hair pops out brilliantly against that galactic backing. And, space and galaxies in general, that really is the realm of the ascendant. It's even higher than the sky. We normally refer to the sky as the realm of the gods. So to look at something like the moon or the kind of galactic sky, very ascendant and kind of divine in that impression as well. And there's something pretty interesting here, which you'll notice is kind of wisp and a bit of as well that does frame the face of our subject, creates a bit of intimacy within the work at hand, and certainly draws the eye. She kind of looks at the viewer as well, so there is a sense of kind of confrontation, but definitely not a negative sense there. And so the subject that we're looking at is actually Lucy from the Cyberpunk Edgerunners series, and Lucy is actually a Netrunner. I'll go a bit deeper that here in a second. What I wanted to say is the Cyberpunk Edgerunner series actually exists in the Cyberpunk 2077 world, so very, very important if y'all want to look at that reference. If y'all know the video game or know the series or know the universe in general, you're certainly going to see some similarities. So Cyberpunk Edgerunners is kind of an online anime web series. I believe it aired on Netflix, and I just kind of binged it. It was incredibly good. There's so many different things you can hit on. And so what is an Edgerunner? So an Edgerunner is someone who skirts on the edge of legality, right? So someone who kind of does criminal work, kind of skirts on the edge of the legal, and that's really important. And kind of the Edgerunners are really this broad term for criminals in general. And within the Edgerunners, you have what are called Netrunners, and that's what Lucy is here. And so a Netrunner really has kind of cybernetic augmented, think of them as kind of cyborg hackers. They are integrated with the machine, but they're also integrated within the net as well. And so Lucy was actually taken when she was very young in a Arasaka facility and trained to be a Netrunner. So there is this sense of captivity, and she, in many ways she is a victim to that, but simultaneously it gave her these incredible powers of the Netrunner as well. So think of them as very advanced hackers that can kind of manipulate the physical world due to their kind of cybernetic implants. So really, really interesting there. And in the series, really the main character is going to be a person named David. And so David went to school at one of these really prestigious universities, but eventually dropped out, and his mom actually died in a car crash. So many different traumatic things for David, and he actually meets Lucy here. And I wanted to show you guys how they reveal Lucy. This is really important, and I think it actually adds to the ethereal nature of her as well. So we're going to look at that real quick. All right, so we have the main work on the right, of course, and I want to show you guys how they first revealed Lucy in the Cyberpunk Edgerunners series. So initially, we get this kind of swirl of iridescent light and color that eventually morphs into the form of her hairstyle and then reveals her as well, but she disappears almost instantly. So there's this very kind of ethereal hint that we see there. It feels very divine, and we're really wondering who that subject is. So when I was watching this series, of course I did watch it so I could be prepared for this work. I kind of saw that ethereal nature, and I think the work here captures that as well. Those brilliant, vibrant colors, this kind of neon hair that she has, I absolutely love it, and it certainly pops out and catches our eye. So like I said, Lucy is a Netrunner, so she is also an Edgerunner simultaneously, someone skirting on the edge of legality, very important here. But when she meets David, she realizes that the life isn't really worth it. She wants David to survive, and what you'll actually see, she's wearing David's golden yellow jacket here, so there is kind of a memento there as well. And so, she wants David to walk away from this life, but David feels a sense of camaraderie with his gang, with kind of the team that he's at, and he feels an obligation to stay with them. And I don't want to go into too many spoilers. I did spoil a little bit already. Sorry about that. But aside from that, she really wants David to walk away from that. And the real question I want y'all to ask is, what happens when you try to walk away from the life of an Edgerunner? Can you actually do that? Will it always follow you? And can you kind of make that transition forward? A really important question when we're looking at this work. Is she too far in, or will she be able to save David? So I hope y'all enjoyed the work today. This is a digital illustration, so it was, painstakingly painted and illustrated on a screen there. Incredible detail. Really nice kind of fan art that we see here as well. So if y'all did enjoy, go check out the original artists. Chawin Choosrirat always doing some really good stuff. Really works with the fantasy, the divine, and even some fan art as well. Of course, we see that today. So I hope y'all enjoyed today. Hope y'all learned something. And if y'all did, go check out the original series. It's going to be Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Probably the best anime series I've ever seen. Granted, I haven't seen very many anime, but all in all, really hope y'all enjoyed today. And if y'all did, go check out the original artist. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.